is a really common position which we keep sort of getting into. I think about it is probably fine. So I have this a lot when I'm rolling with Pete. So my feet are dorsiflexed, right? And he forces into this position here, right? Now obviously we always ideally want to be on our side, but sometimes we end up square. So the moment that I end up in this position, my little fingers are going together, and I just sort of almost sit. If he comes low, I don't need to go any lower. If he's a bit higher, I sit up, right? And I'm like this. And you've got to be mindful that people may try and wrap your head, but it's kind of difficult. The main thing he's going to try and do is drive me back flat and get an underhook. So get an underhook. Okay, and if he starts to get into this position, I just start elevating him. So if I feel he is actually, and he rarely ever does, but I feel like I just lift him. And it opens up all the space. And you can play whatever you want off of it, but to begin with, you're just going to get a partner. So my hands are here, and every time, and if I want to tighten this, by the way, so what you kind of can't see is, if I want to tighten this even more, I just move. And I just change the angle. And then if I feel, and it rarely ever does, if I feel it's getting too much, whatever, I just elevate. It doesn't really matter which way you elevate, your feet are flexed, but you just lift them, make them put a hand on that. And then there's no weight in this anyway. Right, so this is going to be the first bit that we're going to do. So we're just here like this. I can also lift him up a bit, but come on. So I'm just not conceding at any point here, conceding the underhook. Yeah, and then we're going to go into some pummeling ideas here. Yeah, the reason he wants the underhook is so he can begin to stack, right? So the common sequence would be, he gets here, if I give him one of the underhooks, now he stacks, and now he can begin, puts all his weight in his head, and now he can start isolating a leg. But if I don't ever give the inside space here, it becomes very, very hard for him. So he goes to underhook. I don't like it, I just elevate. Yeah. And obviously you could drag and all sorts off of it, but let's just grab our body and give it a go. Like that, 3 for 3, not very intense, but just. So flex, make sure you're dorsiflexing behind the knees, so you're pulling your toes towards your, yeah. Just try and get the underhook. And if you feel it's going at all, just lift him up. Just start to lift the sleeve. Yeah. And it just changes the angle. Makes it even harder. I think this is just keep going. I think this is the key point in this, is that you don't let them, when they get to this position, you don't let them underhook. Yeah. And it's this idea all the time. But make sure you give them a good go at getting the underhook to begin with. So don't just extend the legs, but let him try and get the underhook first. And if you feel like he's starting to get in, that's when you elevate. Yeah. Make sure you're dorsiflexing with your feet. Your feet want to stay, your toes, big toe pulling towards your knee. So you flex. Yeah. So if he tries to step off it, you've got a good hook. Yeah. the time. Any questions? Any questions on that at all? Everyone seems to have a basic idea of it. Yeah, all good. So if you give that space